الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله يجتبي إليه من يشاء ويهدي إليه من ينيب صدق الله العظيم. In this verse of the Quran Sharif that I have recited, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala consoles Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Many of the kuffar of Makkah, they didn't bring iman upon Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went through a lot of grief, a lot of difficulty, that why aren't these people bringing iman? So Allama Alusi Rahmatullah Alayhi says that fi hadhihi al-ayah tasalliyatun lin Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In this verse of the Quran, Allah Ta'ala gives consolement. Allah consoles Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. What does Allah Ta'ala say? Allahu yajtabi ilayhi man yasha. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala draws, Allah Ta'ala pulls. Allahu yajtabi ilayhi. Allah pulls to him whoever Allah Ta'ala wants. Whoever Allah wants to make his beloved, who is there to question Allah Ta'ala? So Allah Ta'ala pulls to him whomsoever he wants. This is what you call jazb. Jazb is when Allah Ta'ala from his side, Allah Ta'ala pulls somebody to him, Allah Ta'ala makes him his beloved. In Tafsir Khazin, it mentioned, when Allah makes jazb of a person, Allah pulls a person, and Allah makes that person his beloved, then tasheelu tariqil khair, then the path of goodness, Allah makes it very easy. After he just gets the tawfiq of obeying every command of Allah Ta'ala. Even for example, if he doesn't want to read namaz, it's the time of salah. He says, no, today I'm feeling very tired, I don't want to go for namaz. So at that time, somebody will come to his house, some guest will come. And when the guest comes to his house, now the adhan is called. So now he's feeling shy, he has to go with the guest for namaz. So Allah made it a means that now you will go for namaz. وَتَسْدِيدُ تَرِيقِ الشَّرِّ. And the path of evil, Allah Ta'ala blocks it off. Now a person, he wants to do wrong. He wants to break some command of Allah Ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala will make it such some calamity will come. Some problem will come. When the problem comes, he forgets all that wrong that he was supposed to do. So that problem was actually a bounty from the side of Allah Ta'ala. So Allahu yajtabi ilayhi man yasha. Allah pulls to him whomsoever Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala wishes. There are many such things that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala just gives it from his side. It is Wahabi. Allah gives it as a gift from his side. Nubuwat. No Nabi made an effort to become the Nabi of Allah Ta'ala. Allah selected that I want this person to be my Nabi. Allah made him his Nabi. Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, they made no effort to become Sahaba. Ikhtarahumullahu li suhbati Nabi. Allah chose them and made them the companions of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This was Wahabi. It was from the side of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Similarly, many awliya, many pious people, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gives it from his side. Allah just pulls them and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala makes them his beloved. So Allahu yajtabi ilayhi man yasha. That is the one system of Allah. And the second system of Allah Ta'ala, وَيَهْدِي إِلَيْهِ مَن يُنِيبُ. Allah gives hidayat, Allah guides those people to him, those that turn in repentance to Allah. They make tawbah, meaning they will falter, they will make guna. People like us, we falter, we make guna, and thereafter a person again, he turns to Allah, he cries to Allah, he makes tawbah to Allah. No problem. In the end, you'll also see the light at the end of the tunnel. Humne is tarah tay kiye manzil hai. Many buzrug said, this is how we threaded the path. Hum gire, we fell down also. We also got involved in guna. Gir kar uthe. After falling down, we woke up. Or utkar chale. When we woke up, then we started walking the path to Allah Ta'ala. Until finally the time came where they became the beloveds of Allah. Either Allah gives it in dunya, or Allah gives it at the time of maut, Allah makes you his beloved. Or if not at the time of maut, then remember on the day of Qiyamah, there it is guaranteed. Allah will make a person his beloved. So these are the two ways. But the condition is, a person must be mukhlis. A person must be sincere. You must be sincere. I want to reach Allah Ta'ala. When a person is sincere, he wants to reach Allah, Allah will open the way. Shaitan, he was not mukhlis. Shaitan was not sincere. Because he was not sincere, Shaitan was mardud. He was rejected in the court of Allah. Any person that is sincere, he will reach his objective. When Allah makes jalb of somebody, when Allah pulls somebody, and Allah makes somebody his beloved, thereafter that person will never ever be rejected in the court of Allah. That is why we learn from here also, every day a person must make dua to Allah. Wallah, you make jazb, Allah. Jazb means to pull. Wallah, you pull me, Allah. Wallah, pull my children, Ya Allah. Pull our wives, Ya Allah. Pull our parents, Ya Allah. Make dua for the entire family. That Allah, you pull us, you make us your beloved. And when Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala pulls, then a person just becomes the beloved of Allah. Now it becomes so easy to obey the command of Allah. Inna lillahi nafahatun. It is mentioned that for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, there are certain, what nafahat means, the breath of a person. The breathing of a person. So for Allah Ta'ala, there are certain moments also. In these moments, when a person, he turns to Allah, he says, Allah, make jazb of me. Allah, pull me. Finish. That dua is accepted. And once it's accepted, now you became the beloved of Allah, your work is done for life. فَتَعَرَّضُوا لِنَفَحَاتِ اللَّهِ, that turn your attention, go and seek these moments of Allah, the time before Maghrib Salah, on the day of Jumu'ah. This is from Nafahatullah. These are the moments of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And in fact, the entire 24 hours of Jumu'ah, there is a moment where if you make your dua is going to be accepted. Whatever dua it is, that dua will be accepted. One lady, she doubted this, that on the day of Jumu'ah, there is a time where duas are accepted. So what she did, she took a stone, and then I think it was a stone, and she starts making dua. Oh Allah, turn this to gold. So if Allah Ta'ala, nothing is impossible, Allah will turn it to gold if Allah Ta'ala wants. So she made dua for it to turn to gold. It never turned to gold. And then eventually she got frustrated. Yeah, nothing is happening here. So she said, Agar sona nahi to loha. And if it's not going to be turned to gold, oh Allah, then turn it into metal, turn it into steel. And that was the time of acceptance. So immediately it turned to steel at that particular time. So these are moments from the side of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Hazrat Maulana Abrarul Haqsab Hardoi Rahmatullah Alayhi, Hazrat was a senior Khalifa of Maulana Thanvi Rahmatullah Alayhi. So on one occasion he was in Allahabad. Whilst he was in Allahabad with Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb Rahmatullah, a very, very great buzurg. So they were together. So Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb Rahmatullah Alayhi said that come, we go and visit a certain person that is ill. So they start walking or they use the car to go to their destination. So as they were traveling, so Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb Rahmatullah Alayhi said, see, there's a certain Hakim Saheb that lives nearby, Hakim Sulaiman. So he said, let's take Hakim Sulaiman and go. Because if Hakim Saheb finds out that we went to visit that sick person and we didn't invite him, we didn't take him along, then Hakim Saheb will be very upset as well. So they went to the house of Hakim Saheb. So when they went there, Hakim Saheb was sleeping. So Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb Rahmatullah Alayhi, he said, wake him up. Normally, a person that is sleeping, we don't cause inconvenience to any person. A person that is sleeping in the masjid, at that time also, if you're alone in the masjid, you're making tilawat of Quran Sharif, a little loudly, no problem. But the moment other people come in, now you can't make tilawat of the Quran Sharif loudly. Somebody is in the masjid here, he is sleeping, you can't make dhikr also loudly. At that time, you're supposed to make dhikr softly. If everybody is now in the dhikr of Allah Ta'ala, there is nobody performing salah, there is nobody sleeping, now there's no problem whatsoever. When we go into sajda, then the Hanafi madhab, it is mentioned that a person must spread out his arms. Spread it out to such an extent that a baby goat must be able to pass under you. But this the fuqaha say in your nafil namaz, not in your faraz namaz. Because in your faraz namaz, if you're going to spread out your arm, what's going to happen? There's a musalli on your right hand side, there's a musalli on your left hand side. You're going to cause inconvenience to the musallis. So there is not permissible, but in your nafil namaz, when you're standing, there's plenty of place around you, now you will make amal upon this. So we don't cause inconvenience to any person. So nevertheless, so here, the Hakim Saheb, he would have been upset if they didn't wake him up. So Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb Rahmatullah said, wake him up. On this occasion, there's no problem to wake him up. So they woke him up. When they woke him up, Hakim Saheb came outside. When he came outside, look at Buzurgan-e-Din, where their gaze go and how they take out the masail of tasawwuf. He explained, he said, Hakim Saheb, you were sleeping. You had no intention to go and visit the ill person. We came to your house, we pulled you out of your house. He said, this is what you call jazb. We pulled you out. Exactly when Allah pulls, you got no desire. You don't even know Allah is going to pull. But Allah Ta'ala pulls you at that time, Allah makes you His beloved. The car was parked at a distance. From the house, they now start walking up the pathway or whatever till they got to the car. When they got to the car, now they press the remote. Now the doors open. And when the doors open, now they sat down in the car. Then Maulana Abrarul Haqsab Rahmatullah Alayhi mentioned, he said, this is what you call suluk. Suluk is this path. We all treading the path. We want Allah Ta'ala. That is why we are all sitting here. So we're treading the path to Allah Ta'ala. So he says, make a little bit of effort. Just walk the path. When you come to your destination, now the car doors open. The door to Allah Ta'ala will open. And you'll become the beloved of Allah Ta'ala. Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu was salam, he had gone to Madian, where he got married to the daughter of Shu'aib alayhi salam. After marrying the daughter of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam, he served his father-in-law. After serving his father-in-law, after 10 years, now Musa alayhi salatu wasalam is returning. He is coming from Madian at night. He's coming back to Egypt. When he's coming to Egypt, it's a cold night. He doesn't know the route also. Allah Ta'ala says, إِذْ رَأَى نَارًا. Suddenly Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he sees a fire. In the distance, there's a fire that is burning. فَقَالَ لِأَهْلِهِمْ كُثُوا. He told his wife, you just stand here, just wait over here. إِنِّي آنَسْتُ نَارًا. That I will bring for you, that verily I sense fire, I see fire. لَعَلِّي آتِيكُم مِّنْهَا بِقَبَسٍ. Perhaps I will bring you a brand of fire. We're feeling cold also. I'll bring some fire from there and we will also get warmed up. So لَعَلِّي آتِيكُم مِّنْهَا بِقَبَسٍ أَوْ أَجِدُ عَلَى النَّارِ هُدًى. or I will find some guide that is there and he will show us the road, how we must get now to Misr, how to get to Egypt. فَلَمَّا أَتَاهَا نُودِيَ يَا مُوسَى. When Musa alayhi salatu wasalam came, now the call came. Oh Musa, inni ana rabbuk, that I am your Rabb, I am Allah. فَخْلَعْ نَعْلَيْكَ, take out your shoes. إِنَّكَ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوَى, you're in the blessed valleys of Tuwa, so take out your shoes in this Mubarak place. And then he starts speaking to Allah Ta'ala, and then he is blessed with Nubuwwat. This is what you call jazb. Musa alayhi salam went for fire, and what Allah Ta'ala did? Allah pulled him, Allah made him his Nabi. So this is what Allah, when Allah pulls, Allah Ta'ala makes a person a beloved, his beloved. Sometime it happens, a person, he's got some problems in his life. So he hears, you know what, there's some Maulana that has come, and that Maulana, maybe I can get a ta'weez from him. So now he came to the Maulana for what? He came for ta'weez. So Maulana was giving bayan. He said, let me sit down in the bayan, I have to wait for the bayan to end, and I'll get the ta'weez. So he sat down and he listened to the bayan. But in that bayan, it had such an impact on the person, he came for ta'weez, but it has such an impact on him, there and there, Allah made it the changing point in his life. This is what you call jazb. When Allah Ta'ala pulls, a person becomes the beloved of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, it is the belief of the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the most superior person after Nabi alayhi salam is Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. The highest darja and the highest status is that of Siddiqiyya. When Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, he met Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was only 16 years old. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam at that time was 18 years old. Nabi alayhi salam was 2 years older than Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. They never knew each other, but they met in Makkatul Mukarramah. It is mentioned that he had so much of love there and there. Both Nabi alayhi salam and Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, what we say in our terms, they clicked with one another. Al-arwahu junudum mujannadatun. That the arwah, in the realm of the souls that were stored in alam arwah, these were armies that were recruited from the side of Allah. فَمَا تَعَارَفَ مِنْهَا إِئْتَلَفَ. Those that recognize one another there, those that clicked with one another there, إِئْتَلَفَ, they have love in dunya also. That friendship comes into dunya also. Certain person, you just meet him, you say, hey, this man, I really enjoy his company. I really like talking to this particular person. But where does it come from? It's come from alam arwah. You clicked over there, you'll click in dunya. وَمَا تَنَاكَرَ مِنْهَا إِخْتَلَفَ. And those that ignored one another there, when they come in dunya, they got their difference. Certain person, very good person also, very pious person also, but you say, I just can't get along with that person. Why you can't get along? You didn't click in alam arwah, you won't click in dunya. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when he met Nabi alayhi salam, there and there, both of them clicked. And they clicked to such an extent that they say where a person's sand has been taken from, that is where a person is going to be buried. If a person, his sand is taken from another country, Australia, you will go to Australia at the time of Maut, you will pass away there and you will be buried over there. One lady, she was from Reunion. So from Reunion, her daughter got married in Malawi. So she went to Malawi. When she went to Malawi, she went into the garden. She picked up the soil, little bit of soil she picked up. And she said, oh, Malawi's soil is so beautiful. Next day she passed away. She went into the same soil. So where your soil has been taken from, that's where you'll go. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, where was his soil taken from? Right next to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala, where was his soil taken from? Right next to Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So what a relationship Hazrat Abu Bakr and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam had. It is mentioned every day Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala would meet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But he didn't accept Islam. So one day Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala undertook a journey. See how Allah ta'ala pulls. He undertook a journey to Sham. When he went to Sham, he saw a dream. Now he wants the interpretation of the dream. So there were many senior priests, leaders that were there, ulama that were there of that time. So he went to one of them and he said, I saw this dream. So that person asked him that, Man anta, that who are you? So, min aina anta. He asked him, where are you coming from? So he said, min Makkah, I'm coming from Makkah. He said, Aish anta, what are you? So he said, Tajir, I'm a businessman, I do business. So then he said, min ayyi qabilatin, from which tribe have you come? So he said, min Quraysh, I have come from the Quraysh. So he told us that Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, yub'athu nabiyyun min qawmik, takunu wazirahu fi hayatihi wa khalifatahu ba'da wafatihi. That a Nabi is going to be appointed from your qawm and from your people. You're going to be the wazir, the minister of this Nabi in his lifetime. And really Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala became the wazir of Nabi alayhi salam. He never left Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam from one moment also. So you will be his wazir and his minister fi hayatihi. And you will be his khalifa ba'da wafati, after the demise of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It is mentioned, it comes in the narration, فَأَسَرَّهَا أَبُو بَكْرٍ مِنَ الْكَائِنَاتِ كُلِّهَا. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, he hid this from the entire world. He never told anybody about the dream that he had. He never told anyone about the interpretation that he got. It is mentioned after many years, when Hazrat Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached the age of 40. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala was now 38 years old, and Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had gone to the cave of Hira. At that time, Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam came, and Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam embraced Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, and 3 times this happened, and he told him, Iqra, recite, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ma ana biqari, that I don't know how to read. He didn't know how to read. He didn't know how to write. So finally, Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam told him, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, that read in the name of your Rabb that created you. Khalaqal insana min alaq, that he created insan from a drop of blood. Khalaqal insana min alaq. Iqra wa rabbukal akram, read by the name of your Rabb, who is most generous, most kind. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala is, Allah is Kareem. Iqra wa rabbukal akram, alladhi allama bil qalam, that being that taught you through the means of the pen. Allama al insana ma lam ya'lam, he taught insan that which he doesn't know. 5 verses of the Quran Sharif were revealed in the cave of Hira. When these 5 verses were now revealed, and Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam got nubuwwat, first he came to Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, and he told Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala that, oh Abu Bakr, I'm the Nabi of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, he wanted to test Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was not certain. So what he said? He said, Mad dalilu ala ma tadda'i. What is the proof of what you are claiming? You're claiming nubuwwat. There has to be proof that you're the Nabi of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. What does Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? Ru'ya allati ra'ayta bisham. Your dream you saw in Sham, that is the proof that I'm the Nabi of Allah ta'ala. Nobody knew about it. How did Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam know? Immediately it is mentioned, fa'anaqahu, he embraced Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wa qabbalahu bayna aynayhi, he kissed Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam between his eyes, and he said, ashhadu annaka rasulullah, that ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu annaka rasulullah, I testify there is no deity except Allah, you are the Rasul of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So that dream of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, that dream that he had, that was just Allah ta'ala pulled him, and Allah made that the means of him bringing iman when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam presented the da'wat of Islam. From amongst the men, he was the first people to accept Islam upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala pulls a person, inshallah we'll continue from here next week, when Allah ta'ala pulls a person, really that person then becomes the beloved of Allah. So we just need to look after our time, keep making dua all the time. Even a person that is walking, our Shaykh explained, once we were traveling, and it was the day of Jumu'ah, and we were traveling from Azadwal, we were going to Homestead Park. So whilst we were traveling, I was sitting next to a doctor, I was sitting in the back seat, Hazrat was sitting in the front seat, and somebody was driving, and there were a few other people also in the car. So anyway, it was Friday just before Maghrib. So doctor, he was quite talkative. So Dr. Saheb now, he was talking to me, and he had few questions or whatever, so he was talking, and I was talking to him. So Hazrat, after he left us, he let us speak, and after a little while, he saw now it's too much now. So he quite very softly, in a kind way, he said, Mufti Mohammed, that is this the time to talk now? That this is the time of Jumu'ah. This is the time before Maghrib. This is the time when du'as are going to be accepted. Where are you wasting your time now talking useless talk when you can turn to Allah Ta'ala? On occasion, Hazrat used to tell us, he says that sometime you are walking from your home and coming to the masjid. Your home, from the house to the masjid may be a short distance. Or you're driving, your house may be a little far. You're driving and you're coming to the masjid. At that time, you don't have to pick up your hands and make dua also. In your heart, just make dua. If the time of acceptance, your work is done at that particular time, whatever you need, that dua will be accepted. Last week, we're in Newcastle. Finish off on this, inshallah. Last week, we're in Newcastle. So when we're in Newcastle, Mufti Muhammad Saheb, I met him. Allah Ta'ala, his brother passed away today. The truck completely smashed that whole BMW up. And he passed away there and there. So Mufti Muhammad Saheb, he said, no, come to Darulum, you must have a program. So we had a program. After the program, it was after Fajr. He said, no, you come home and I'll just give you tea. But mashallah, when we went, what a breakfast he laid out for us. So nevertheless, when I was talking to him, so I told him, tell me something. There's an uncle of yours that was shot many years ago. So tell me something. This uncle, he went to India in Jamaat. And in India, he was put into prison. I want to know a little bit. I've heard about this. But I don't know the details. If you can just enlighten me a little bit about this. So then Mufti Saheb told me, he said, I'll explain the entire incident to you. So when we went in the house and we sat down, he said, my uncle, they went for Hajj. And it was the entire Jamaat from South Africa that had gone for Hajj. And after Hajj, 4 months Jamaat, they went to India, Pakistan. So when they were in India, I think they were in Calcutta or somewhere in that area. So they decided that we want to go after the 4 months, we want to go back for Umrah, and then we'll come to South Africa. So they sent their passports to the embassy, Saudi embassy over there. So they were walking one day and they came across a huge building. So when they looked at this building, they said that they saw that this is a prison. Many prisoners perhaps were prisoned up, perhaps the biggest prison that was in that area. So many prisoners were there. So one person, see what I'm saying is dua. If it's going to be accepted, at that time Allah accepts it. So he said, one brother from the Jamaat, he said, how nice if we can go into the prison and give dawah to all the workers that are here, all these people that are imprisoned here. So they went a little further and they were having a program. So when they were having the program, many people were gathering for their programs. So the Indian government thought that these people are trying to overthrow the Indian government. They imprisoned him there and there. See, he made that dua. He said, how nice if we can go inside the prison and give dawah to all these people. Finished. The entire Jamaat was prison. 20 days they were put into prison. And finally, Maulana's grandfather, the person that was put in prison, his father, Maulana Mufti Mohammed Aku's grandfather we're talking about. So his grandfather then went to Nizamuddin. And when he went to Nizamuddin, then he asked the elders, he said, where is this Jamaat? Where is my son? So he said, this Jamaat, he was gone to Calcutta and they have been imprisoned. So somehow then he got in contact with the Indian government, he wrote up to them, and then finally they were released. But they say when they went into prison, he says at that particular time, when he was put into prison, all the people that were there, even the Hindus that were there, when they greeting, they saying namaste. They're supposed to be making salam. What they saying? They saying namaste. But when they finished off, everyone was making salam, and perhaps most of them had then accepted Islam already. But the time of dua, it's a time of dua, and dua is accepted. A person, he says the right thing and his work is done. And a person, he says the wrong thing at that particular time, and a person then goes in the wrong direction. Why? Because that's the dua that came out. So a person should always make dua. Allah make jazba of us. Allah pull us, Allah pull our families, and Allah make us your beloved. And really, if we're sincere and we want it, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala will give it to us. We'll continue from here next week, inshallah. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم فاذكروني أذكركم أنا جليس من ذكرني दिल मेरा हो जाए एक मैदान हो तू ही तो हो तू ही तो हो तू ही तो और मेरे तन में बजाए आब वगिल दर्द दिल हो दर्द दिल हो दर्द दिल फिर से बिल्कुल उठ जाए नजर तू ही तो आए नजर देखूं जिधर ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह 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 मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम इलाही दिल में मेरे गैर का असर न रहे सिवाय तेरे किसी पर मेरी नजर न रहे तो कर बे खबर सारी खबरों से मुझको इलाही रहूं एक खबरदार तेरा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह illallah la ilaha 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 illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam कोई मुझसे पूछे मैं क्या मांगता हूँ मैं अपने खुदा से खुदा मांगता हूँ वो हो जाए मेरा मैं हो जाऊँ उसका यही रात दिन में दुआ मांगता हूँ अता कर दे वो मुझको अपनी मोहब्बत मैं उसके सिवा कुछ और नहीं मांगता हूँ नाराज़गी जिसकी दोज़ख से भरकर उसी ज़ात की मसरता मांगता हो असल मुझे दुनिया की ख्वाहिश नहीं मैं बख्शिश बरोज़े जज़ा मांगता हो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है। अल्लाह जल्ल जलालुहु ताला शनु। अल्लाह 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 ईचे शीरीन सनाम, शीर व शक्कर में शवद जानम तमाम। अल्लाह 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 अल्लाह। अपने मिलने का पता कोई निशा तू बता दे मुझको ए रब्बे जहां। अल्लाह 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 अल्लाह। اللهم لك الحمد كله ولك الشكر كله ولك الملك كله وإليك يرجع الأمر كله. اللهم لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد كلما ذكره الذاكرون وكلما غفل عن ذكره الغافلون. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار. اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق وأعمالنا من الرياء وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعيننا من الخيانة، فإنك تعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور. اللهم يسر أمورنا، اللهم اشرح صدورنا، اللهم حسن مرادنا، اللهم نور قلوبنا، اللهم استر عيوبنا، اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا ونجنا مما نخاف يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر وارحم وتجاوز عما تعلم إنك أنت الأعز الأكرم. جزا الله عنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم بما هو أهله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله.